Hi, my name is Othman Abdo, and I'm here to take you through my multimodal learning ICT presentation. So we begin by what is multimodal learning. So multimodal learning combines two or more modes such as written language, spoken language, visual, still and moving images, audio, gestural, and spatial meaning. Creating digital multimodal text involves use of communication technologies. However, multimodal text can also be paper-based or live performances. This is by Cope and Kalantzis in 2009. Multimodal learning refers to embodied learning approach or pedagogy, which engages multiple sensory system and action systems of the learner. This type of learning is traditionally emphasized for children with learning challenges and can include a wide range of visual inputs, auditory, and addition to text. What is a multimodal learning environment and what does it look like? A multimodal learning environment allows instructional elements to be presented in more than one sensory mode, visual, oral, or written. In turn, materials that are presented in a variety of presentation modes may lead learners to perceive that it is easier to learn and improve attention, thus leading to improved learning performances, in particular helping lower achieving students. The multimodal learning environment will help students achieve a deeper learning from a combination of words, pictures, and other sensory modes alone. This provides students with external representations of learning, and by doing this, deeper processing of information and maintain students' attention by making information more engaging and motivating, making it more easier to understand, and students are more focused on the task at hand. Why multimodal learning and how does it help students and learners? Using a multimodal approach to learning is an increasingly common practice in most contemporary classrooms. Students will experience effective multimodal text for different purposes and audiences, fluency, and imagination. Students will experience various modes using text as well as how multiple modes work together in different ways to convey the story or the information to be communicated. Multimodal learning generally consists of incorporating text and visual images of vocabulary by learning along with the actual definition and sound of the vocabulary. This helps students to facilitate learning and improves memory for the target vocabulary and grammar. Students will be actively engaged by listening to the words, pronouncing the words, reading and writing the words. In one typical application, for instance, a computer, laptop, or an iPad will guide students to observe the words being spoken by an ICT program, game, video, and so on. Experiences like this, where students experience the word as spoken as well as written. They will see visual images, so that could help them with referencing the words. Click or point to spelling in a game or a program, hear themselves say the word followed by correct pronunciation. Spell the word by typing, observe, and respond to the word used in context. How to apply multimodal learning in the classroom. For an example, let us use the VARK learning style for multimodal learning in a classroom. The acronym VARK stands for Visual, Auditory, Read, Write, and Kinesthetic Sensory modalities that are used for learning information. So the first one, visual learning. Visual learning, this provides students with the use of videos, illustration, cartoons, graphs, diagrams, and artwork. Anything that will help stimulate students' focus. Techniques like color coding information, using different fonts, and labeling important points with stickers are all part of visual learning. Auditory learning. Auditory learning. This provides students with what they listen. This will help students by showing them educational videos, games, and audiobooks, and so on. Kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learning gives students the opportunity to get active. This provides students with a few modes like demonstrations and multimedia presentations. And the last one, reading and writing. Reading and writing provides students with various modes of multimodal learning in a classroom. For an example, ebooks, educational games, and online assessments. Now these are a couple of examples, as you can see in these images on the screen right now, of what a multimodal learning will look like in a classroom. I would like to describe an application that is called Reading Eggs, which is an online program, which is an ICT resource that you can use effectively for a multimodal learning environment in a classroom. So let us use Reading Eggs programs as a multimodal learning tool. It is grounded in the 5 essential pillars of reading: phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, reading comprehension, and fluency, which are the foundation literacy skills, in turn learning to read fun and enjoyable. Sequence lessons for age 3 to 12. It keeps students engaged throughout the program by providing 1,000 of learning games and activities, reading lessons and books. This keeps the students entertained with various characters in the program. Teachers have access to management settings to see how students are travelling throughout the program with a report and module. Teachers have access to resources and teaching toolkits, which allows them to downloadable lesson plans, activities, and PowerPoints for the interactive whiteboard. I would like to draw on 2 teaching pedagogy models, the 7E affordance model and the SAMA model that we can use for the ICT resource Reading Eggs. The 7E affordance model was designed by Bill Cope and Mary Kalantzis, who have created a framework to evaluate and assess students in the ways they integrate technology in the classroom. The framework is an E-affordance, which refers to the technology you can use while supporting new learning. Affordance here is a framework that refers to what opportunities the technology can offer. So we'll start off with ubiquitous learning. Reading Eggs resource program offers the ability to be accessed beyond the walls of a classroom. You can log in anywhere around the world to access this resource program, which provides the ability to be ubiquitous in its learning and teaching approach. Active knowledge making. Reading Eggs resource program enables students to benefit not only from the educational aspect, but also to become active producers of knowledge as it opens up the doors to learning and how to access technology in different ways. This pushes a way forward to challenge students how to find, evaluate, and interpret information. This ultimately leads students to use their skills to create new content to share, experience, and learn. Multimodal meaning. Reading Eggs resource program offers students to be practical learners of information in various modes of learning. Students can represent their meaning of information being conveyed independently and simultaneously in different modes. Each mode complements the other: the diagram and the text, the oral and the written explanation, and the data and synthetic summary. That way, learning is deepened as students shift from one mode to another. Recursive feedback. Reading Eggs resource program provides a recursive feedback as it focuses on a combination of formative and summative assessment approaches. This makes the ICT resource program more functional and detailed in its method to be constructive when it's delivering a direct learning for all students. It views individual learners' progress at the end of each level and when the students log in with the start to a comprehension quiz. Collaborative intelligence. Reading Eggs resource program delivers a way of computing ubiquitously and socially with the web. This gives students the ability to externalize memory and use ICT tools that are accessible to all students. Metacognition. Reading Eggs resource program offers students to think more deeply at a high level. It also provides efficiency in thinking and learning, as conceptualization at a high levels broadens the scope of application and transfers the idea and understanding. Differentiated learning. Reading Eggs resource program provides a differentiated learning approach that is more feasible on technological instructions. Students have the ability to work at their own pace, as the ICT program is self-paced and its learning approach, as not all students will be the same stage in the process of the program. The teacher has an immediate view of where they are up to in the game and throughout. The second pedagogical model that we can use for this ICT resource Reading Eggs is the SAMA model. So the SAMA model is broken up into 4 separate categories: redefinition, modification, argumentation, and substitution. So let's start with redefinition. Using Reading Eggs allows the technology in a classroom to develop new tasks. It provides students with the core fundamental reading skills and building upon the foundation of literacy. This provides students with online games, activities, focuses on reading lessons, and books. So modification. Using Reading Eggs allows for significant task redesign. Reading Eggs provides teachers to have access of the program. Teachers can manage students' level and set new tasks and activities for students to complete and see how students are tracking. Argumentation. Using Reading Eggs allows technology to act as a direct tool substitute with some functional improvements. Reading Eggs provides students with ebooks and other reading activities. Substitution. Using Reading Eggs allows technology as a direct functional substitute with no functional change. Reading Eggs provides teachers with the teacher kit that provides resources the teachers can use on their interactive whiteboard, PowerPoint and lesson plans for students that can relate to the Reading Eggs ICT program. Thank you all for listening to my multimodal learning presentation. I hope you all enjoyed and got some valuable information out of it. And I would like to close off my presentation with my reference list. Thank you all so much.